Hello, everyone. This is Rahma, and you are listening to the RN Podcast, the show that educates, entertains, and most importantly, empowers. Today, we will talk about the use of assessments of education with Jacob and Sally, who are experts in the education sector. In addition, we will discuss the mainly used assessment of education. Hi, Jacob and Sally. Thank you so much for joining today's session. What can you say about assessment and education, Jacob?
Assessments in education are used to gather information to make a decision. They can be used to determine the strengths and various learning needs of a student.
The significance of assessment is that it should be well trained with students' educational standards, objectives, and competencies. The use of education evaluations are to ascertain performance results for educators on the strengths and weaknesses of students.
What are the uses of assessment and education?
There are various reasons for educational assessment. One of the significant reasons is to understand the strengths, weaknesses, and skills of students. Furthermore, the evaluation helps guide instruction. Formative assessment helps with the task as the evaluation are aided in education to observe student learning and give feedback to improve student learning.
Assessments are used for accountability in how school performance is evaluated on a basis of student performance. This is how students and schools are ranked. Other uses are to ensure that the instructional ways are successful through conformative assessments. It measures how a student performs based on previous performance score.
What are the advantages of assessment and education?
The assessments are significant in predicting school achievements since they measure the intelligence features needed for success in a learning environment. The assessment provide general information to allow parents, teachers, and professionals to provide the necessary resources to students.
Thank you, Jacob. I believe with the various advantages of assessment and education, and there are specific challenges associated.
Yes, there are disadvantages of assessment in education, such as cost, which relates to the interpretation and administration of the results as the process requires experts. The evaluation is mainly designed to test intelligence and lack of perseverance and motivation. Particular personal abilities such as leadership and creativity are missing in the assessment.
I believe there are hundreds of tests that are issued to students.
Some commonly used tests include teacher tests, tests confirmed by psychologists, and state-minded tests.
Achievement tests are focused on determining achievement. For grade 1 learners, this may call for knowing the English alphabet, while for university students, it may include principles of psychological assessment. In addition, there are aptitude tests that focus on life experiences, an informal part of learning, rather than achievement through structural learning. Further, there is a diagnostic test, and that determines a student's difficulties.
That brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you, Jacob and Sally, for joining us in this excellent education discussion. We hope this education aspect was beneficial to you. Always, thank you for listening to RN Podcast.